Welcome to the first video of the series Make $100 Tomorrow. In this video, I'm going to give you guys 3 stocks that I like for tomorrow that has a lot of potential for movement. And these are the stocks that I will be looking to trade tomorrow. I will be giving you basically my analysis of why I think they're going to be doing very well versus why I think they're going to be doing bad. And I'm going to give you my entry and exits for these stocks, particularly options, because I trade only options. But you can still use the levels that I'm going to give you in this video for trading shares as well. So it's not like you can't trade shares. You can always trade shares. I personally like options because options allows me to gain more from the movement of the stock. And the stocks that I've chosen are very volatile, or I'm expecting a lot of volatility. So that allows for options premiums to move a lot, and I get to make a lot of money. So with that said, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. And let's get straight into it. So the first one on the list is Apple, and Apple released earnings, and earnings was pretty good. Now let's take a look at the reason why it gapped up 6% with $10 on the upside. So here's the reason. Well, Apple top line beat, great, right? I'm not really that interested in the top line because if I'm being honest, the top line was okay. It wasn't a crazy beat. 1.53 per share versus 1.5, not a crazy beat. 90.75 billion versus estimate of 90.33, not a crazy beat, but still a good beat nonetheless. The main reason Apple is even up is because every single person in the stock market owns this company in their portfolio, including hedge funds, institutions, everybody, you name it, everybody owns it, right? And what investors love to see are a couple of things: good guidance, okay, buybacks, and dividend increase. Now, in Apple's case, Apple did pretty decent guidance, I would say. But the main reason it went up is because it's doing $110 billion in buyback. That is ridiculous. That is the highest ever in the stock market any company has ever done. 110 billion. That is the highest. You can Google it. You'll see it's the highest of the highs. I believe Apple also did the second highest as well, which is like 100 billion. But 110 billion, insane, right? Then they also increased their quarterly dividends. Now, quarterly dividends, when it goes up, all investors love that because they get money for just holding the stock. But the $110 billion buyback gives confidence to investors that the company believes in itself and they're putting money that they're making back into the company. And that is a great thing for a company. The moment a company does a buyback, it's always seen as a good thing. That is why this company is awesome and why Apple is up so much, right? So great, amazing earnings. So here's my levels for the stock. My levels, first thing is I want to long it above 186. Okay, honestly, not even 186. I would say I want to long it above this level right here, around 185 or 185.50, roughly around there. Break of that, I want to start a position and I want to ride it towards 186.60 to 187. Okay, so that's about a 2-point move to the upside. So I would probably do a 186 or a 187 call for tomorrow since it's Friday expiration, and I can play it towards 190. You can also do next week expiration for 190 call and try to play this 1 to 2-point move to the upside. After it hits 187, you sell most of your profits, or if you get close to 187, you sell most of your profits and you hold some position, some contracts, some runners, as I like to call them, to play the rest of the move for a home run trade with stop loss at break even. So that is what I'm planning on doing for Apple on the long side. And since it beat earnings really well, there's a good chance that we push to 190 tomorrow. On the short side, there's 2 levels that I'm watching. One is 183 short for a drop down to support level around 180. Okay, so that's about a 3-point move to the downside. Why can this happen? Well, this can happen because people will likely take profit. If they take profit and Apple drops down to 180, I can look to go ahead and short it from 183 to 180. And then after 180, I can take it down to 178 to 179, but that's about it. I don't think you'll see more than that on Apple on the downside, considering it is a good beat, right? Now, Apple can do two things, and this is what I think is the highly likely case. The first is Apple will open up tomorrow around this 183 to 184 area, maybe even 182, and sideways grind as people exit, and then nobody really wants to buy it at these prices until the stock comes down, right? So most likely scenario is after market open, Apple sideways grinds because market makers love to sideways grind and kill premium since it's Friday and a lot of option contracts are in play. The other likely scenario is Apple goes for a nice run, which is what I like, which is what I want. I want that volatility. So 185 break for 187, 187 break for 190. The least likely scenario, which is the break of 183 to 180, can still happen, but it's the least likely scenario. So I'm not really that confident in trying to play that put option, unless, I see market being super bearish. And the most unlikely scenario is the break of 180 for more downside, right? The other thing we can do is if it does come down to 180, we could look for a bounce play at 180 back to 183. That could be a nice little play as well. So that is also something we can watch for a long at 180 with stop loss at 179.50 and try to play a bounce to 183. Okay, these are the levels I'm looking for on Apple. And full disclosure, I have Apple in my portfolio, not portfolio, in my option play as an earnings play. So we took an earnings play on Apple before market closed today into earnings. Did a $180 call and a $165 put. The $65 put is going to be zero, and the $180 call is going to be up huge, assuming Apple opens up above 180. And that is all you need for this strangle to work. So lose everything on the put side, but make a lot of money on the call side. And as long as you make money on the call side, it outweighs the losses from the puts. So with Apple opening up around 180 and we took the position around 172, like our premium is gonna be like $3, $4, $5. So already I'm gonna be making like 3-4x the amount that I put in on my put option. So yeah, great earnings lotto. Assuming by market open we open above 180. So that's the goal. So amazing play, and we making a lot of money off of Apple tomorrow, hopefully. And everybody's happy. Members are happy that they got in on this Apple strangle, and yeah, awesome, right? And so that's the basic idea with Apple. And yeah, let's see if Apple makes a nice move. My second stock is Net. And Net is a stock that is down because of its earnings. Now, the first negative signal is that one of its directors sold shares the day before earnings, which you don't really want to see that. It doesn't really give you a lot of confidence that a director of the company is selling shares a day before earnings. That's usually not that good. And so they were correct to sell it because the stock is down from 88 or 87.50 where they sold it down to 76. So they got to sell it at a higher price, and it doesn't feel like it's a good thing, right? When you see a director and insider sell position. So that's always not a fun thing, right? So that's the first negative thing. The second thing is to look at its earnings. And I'll be honest, the earnings was pretty good. I did not see much of a negative thing from earnings. If we go over the highlights, revenue beat, which was a 30% increase year over year. So that's really good based on the estimates. Net income was up as well. Earnings per share was up. Free cash flow was up. Gross margin was up. Operating cash flow increased. Strong operational efficiency. So that's good. Outlook was up. So not anything bad in terms of the numbers. Numbers look pretty good to me, and numbers look like they're growing. But I will say that the guidance, while it was good, it didn't feel as though it was anything huge. It aligns with analyst expectations. Usually doesn't mean that it was a crazy beat, right? So like outlook, okay, like it's kind of underwhelming. So I would consider this more of a negative thing than a positive thing. If the outlook was huge, I would say that the company being down right now is kind of ludicrous, and I would play for a long on this. But outlook was kind of meh. So yeah, like Net, I think it's a bit of a mixed earnings. Some good things, some bad things. So in my opinion, this could go both ways. And here's the thing. The first part I want to see is, can it use this earnings as a way to bounce back from this drop? So what I would be looking for is for a long above $79. $79 long to go up to 80. That's going to be the 1 point move that I'm looking for the first move. And then after 80, I'm looking for 82. Okay, so about 1 to 3 points on the upside for a bounce, and I can scalp it and make $100 on it, right? That's the goal for tomorrow, is to make $100 from any of these one stock, right? Or $100 from each of the one stock, making $300 tomorrow. You never know, or more, depending on what your account size is. So 79 break, go to 80 to 82. I'll do a $80 call for tomorrow and try to get this scalp if it breaks 79. On the short side, if let's say because the earnings is not as great and investors don't really like it and they're trying to get out of it, then you can go for a short on the stock under 75. Short it under 75, bring it down to 73. That's your first target. So you got a 2-point move on the downside. After 73, you can look for 70. So you sell most at 73, and then you go for $70 with the remaining position and have a stop loss at break even. Okay, so that is how I'm going to be playing it, and I'm going to be looking for a short under 75. I'll most likely do a 74 or a $73 puts and try to get this move to the downside and take advantage of it. Even better if you can do a $75 put. So yeah, as a net, beautiful. Good levels to play with, assuming that by pre-market these levels don't change. Those are the levels that I'm looking forward to. Okay, final stock is SQ, and SQ beat earnings, and not much to say about its earnings other than they beat on the top line. They have a strategic investment in Bitcoin, so that's also great. And then the last thing is their guidance was up nice as well, so they kind of did very well in all aspects of it. Cash App generated a quarterly profit of 1.26 billion, up 25% year over year, so that was really good. SQ themselves generated $820 million in profit, up 19% year over year. Also really good. So yeah, I like that. Earnings is good. They beat on revenue. They beat on top line. So it's a justified move for the stock to be up 7.75%. What do I think of the long side? Well, my goal is to go ahead and try and play the long above 76.70. If it breaks 76.70 and let's say pre-market, we don't change, nothing changes, and these levels hold, break of 76.70, I'll go for like a $77 or a $78 call, and my target is going to be $78 to $78.40. On the break of $78.40, we're going to go to $80. Okay, so two levels to play with. Break of 76.70 for 78, break of 78.40 for $80. And you can go for an $80 call for next week, or you can do a $77 or $78 call for tomorrow. That's the idea. If it decides to come down on profit taking, the main short I'm looking for is under 74. Short under 74, bring it down to, I would say, 72. So about I would say like 73 and then 72. So about a 1 to 2 point move. Can it go down to 70? Sure, but I don't think so because the earnings was good. So for me, even getting $1 on the downside is good enough, and that would be enough to make you $100. So $74 break, take it down to 73, sell most of your position, and then if you get to 72, sell the rest, right? So you can go for a $73 put or a $72 put. That's basically how I'm going to play SQ. So if you guys like this video, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Leave in the comments down below what you think of these stocks and which one is your favorite for tomorrow that you want to play. And if you enjoyed these daily money making $100 tomorrow series video, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll do one every single day for the days that our market are open. So with that said, guys, I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and peace.